Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is, and what a beautiful day right now. Starlight is in the shade area, and I hope you're getting out in nature. Go take a hike. Go take a hike, and Starlight doesn't mean to leave my YouTube channel. No, you could stay here and still watch Starlight's videos, but go get out in nature. Okay, go get out in nature. Go take a hike. you know um Out in the woods somewhere, out at a forest. Check out some waterfalls, hiking trails. Awesome. Make sure you look at the reviews. Sometimes, there's some beautiful places out there that they actually will charge money to even enjoy. So you want to do that ahead of time so that way you're prepared, and instead of getting there and saying, they want how much for to park my car? Or so I want to let you know those things because that does happen. And Starlight has not been drinking. I haven't had any wine in a long time. But anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you can give my videos a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos with your family, your friends. Birds, I hear a lot of birds out here. It's so beautiful. And a caterpillar. Plus, you could check out my playlist, and you could find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. And before I start, I just want to say thank you. I do have some people out there that are out here. You know, I know who you are out there, and I appreciate the ones that are actually brave enough to still be here and send me messages. So that actually tells me a lot about you. Is the people that will remain are the ones that you'll find out later on that those are your friends. It's the ones that come and go, the ones that can't accept you for who you are. Those are not your friends. But the ones that can accept your flaws, the ones that are there loving and supporting you, those are your friends. Is the ones that don't give up on you, even when they see that you got flaws. So thank you, for those of you out there that are still here on my YouTube channel and who have subscribed to my YouTube channel or watch my videos or even share. And thank you, all of you, the ones from the beginning all the way till now. Even if you just checked out my YouTube channel recently, thank you. And today it's Starlight is giving up. I am giving up. I am giving up. I am giving up on so many things right now. I'm giving up on the past. I'm giving up. I'm letting go of the past. I'm letting go of people who don't understand me, who judge me, who criticize me. I'm giving up on those people that they judge and criticize me or control me. I'm giving up on those kind of people. I'm giving up on, the 9-to-5 job. I am giving up on being a slave to this 3D matrix, the stimulation that we're in. I'm giving up on watching the news and having it lower my frequency and vibration. I'm giving up on drinking wine. Why? Why, Starlight? Why are you giving up on drinking wine? I love wine. And, well, on that note, is I'm giving up on wine is because wine leads to other things. Wine, if I drink wine, that means I'm going to listen to my old music. When I listen to my old music, that's going to get me to, hey, have a joint with my wine. And now if I have my wine, the music, and the joint to smoke, I could not become the version, be the change that I want to see in the world. So I am giving up on old habits that I used to have. I'm giving up on eating junk food. I'm giving up on caring what people think. Do you care what people think? There's people that are going to misunderstand you, not know you enough to make a judgment about you. So I'm giving up on, caring about what they think. So it's up to you whether you want to have those people in your life or not. But Starlight is giving up on people that don't take enough time to get to know me and to criticize me or to misjudge me. So I am giving up on those people. I am giving up on people who are not loving and supporting me, people that are not cheering me on. I am giving up on those kind of people. I am giving up on marijuana. I just talked to somebody recently, and they were, they're like, they do it. And, they were surprised. They like were kind of really wanting me to, go back and do it, So I actually had to explain to them why I had to give it up. I gave it up. There's a lot of reasons why I had to give up marijuana and the wine. We're going to, number one, how much does it cost? You know, Starlight was drinking like 2 to 3 glasses a day drinking wine. Wow, Starlight, that's a lot of wine in a month, right? How much do you think those bottles of wine? Well, there was different prices, and how much wine in those wine glasses. 3 was my limit, really. If I drank 4, who knows what's gonna Starlight would be doing. But three glasses of wine was my limit. That's when Starlight's kind of feeling a little tipsy. And marijuana, how many joints did Starlight smoke in a day? Like whether I was working or not. How many joints did, on a weekend, forget it. It was like, wake up, have my cup of coffee, get done with it. It was always after I couldn't drink coffee and have a marijuana. Absolutely not. Those two did not go good together. But it would be after I had my coffee, after I brushed my teeth, and then bam, Starlight would start off on the weekends having her marijuana, and then in the middle of the day, and then near the nighttime. So like 3 times in one day on a weekend, or even more if there was people to smoke with. Oh, they're here at the house now. Yeah, let's smoke marijuana. And then you're smoking more because Starlight loves to entertain. So how much money is that a month? Wow, that was a lot of money. I was like, wow, I added it up, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm spending, it's like more than half of my rent, that it took, because the more you do, the more you want, it's kind of, it's the way things are a lot of times. Like when you eat, like Starlight used to eat a lot of crackers and cheese and potato chips. And man, I get the munchies, after smoking, weed. And woo, Starlight could eat the potato chips like they were not there with some dip, or, wow. Starlight just like, once you start doing that, it's just like there's no end. You just like, and then you're like, I had a lot of chips here. I don't even know, if I actually really knew how big that pile was getting. I didn't eat the whole bag, no, but man, that is how we are, like eating junk food. I'm giving up on Burger King. I'm giving up on McDonald's. I go to McDonald's, but I don't eat their food. I actually bring my own coffee in there. I actually get their coffee cup. This is a good thing for you if you want to hang out at McDonald's, if you need a warm place to go and study, you know, ask them, how much does it cost for a coffee cup with a lid. Then you can go out and get your, make your own coffee and bring it in. That way, you look like a customer at McDonald's. So, hey, you gotta be smart on these, living in my condition. So, is I am giving up, and I gave up on marijuana. And the other reason why is because it was only going to take me down the wrong way, it's going to put me in the past. Not only that, because it's going to want me, when I would smoke marijuana or drink wine, you know what that does? And have my music, then it causes me to want to go to the dance club, go out dancing. I don't like the bar scene, but I love the dance floor and the music. The music before, the music and the pretty lights, and just being around a bunch of people dancing. So Starlight didn't want to, like, I didn't like the whole bar scene. I wouldn't drink at the bar because Starlight knew better not to do that. But I gave up. I'm giving up on drugs. I'm giving up on alcohol. I'm giving up on the music that would cause me to want to, you know, get back into the marijuana and get back into the wine drinking, because how am I going to become my greatest version of myself or be the change that I want to see in the world if I am doing all that, right? Those are distractions. Those are things, but this is the thing, is a lot of people, they want to be the change that they want to see in the world. They want to become their greatest version, but they're not willing to sacrifice. They're not willing to let go of things they know is tripping them up. They enjoy it too much, you know? And you could do what you want. Marijuana, the reason why Starlight loved smoking marijuana is I was able to tap in, and I got answers. When I did that, I used it like a medication in a way. It's like when I wanted answers, I would smoke it, and I would get information, and I would get downloads of things that I really needed. And sometimes it would really piss me off when I got the answers, but I needed the truth. It will give you the truth in so many different ways. So it will get you to open, like your eye, your third eye. It's kind of like open up your third eye in a form, is because it's going to open up like a doorway of helping you to understand really what's going on, especially if you get the right stuff that's safe. So if you smoke marijuana, hey, that's your thing. I'm not telling you. I'm just saying that I gave up marijuana. And the other reason why I gave up marijuana and all that stuff is because, like I said, I wouldn't be able to, it was a distraction. It takes hours, by the time you light up, at least with Starlight, it takes like hours for your body to get back, your mind to get back to its normal state, where you can actually do things, like clean a house, do dishes, drive a car. Some people, you know what? They still drive a car, whether they're stoned or not. Starlight cannot do that. So, I'm giving up because I wouldn't be able to work on making videos. Giving up on that stuff. I am giving up on watching movies that waste my time. I'm giving up on, watching things that are not helping me to grow. I am giving up on going at places that are not good for me. I'm, I never really did this, but I'm going to throw this in here. Besides places, I'm giving up on going to toxic places like barroom scenes, or I wouldn't even want to go into a church building either, because just because people that claim that they're Christians go there, it doesn't mean that the energy is good there. And casinos, you know Starlight never really was in the gambling, which I'm so grateful that I didn't have that problem in my life. But if I I am amazed. I just heard somebody today at a store, one of the workers, a guy was actually getting a scratch off ticket. Now, these days, you know what? Those scratch off tickets, those are that really, Starlight did those once in a while, once in a blue moon. I mean, not really, hardly ever, or even a lotto, hardly ever, is those scratch offs. When I started buying them long time ago, they were $1 or $2. They're not, you know what? They're hard to find now these days. Now they got like scratch off tickets for $20, $50. Holy shit. I'm giving up on gambling. There's people that will, it's an addiction. The lady said behind the counter, she goes, you you lose more than because she actually said it worded. I don't know if I'm going to remember it, but there's people that they think, hey, yeah, I just won like $200 on this scratch off, that costed $50. But they're not really, they don't want to really admit to how much money did they lose altogether to get to only, to win only 250. My brother that's no longer here, he was really into the scratch offs, but he didn't spend a lot of money on his. It would have been his last dollar. He would go in there and and then lose it. So that is an addiction. And my heart goes out to people. Like if you got that kind of an addiction, you really want to go get help, because that's some people, they like to go to casinos. Some people like doing those scratch offs. I've seen lots of this, going into gas stations and hanging out. I say hanging out because I was at the gas station sitting at the table a while back, at a Stewart's in New York. and there was two guys that might have been friends or family. They would come in together, sit at one of the tables. They weren't spending just a couple dollars. These were big scratch off tickets, and they're like scratching it, making a mess on the table. And it was and they would, it was a loser because they put it in the garbage. And yeah, maybe this is the one. And they went and got another card, and it's that energy that they're, so you could do what you want, but Starlight's given up on gambling, because then people complain, they don't want to pay for healthy food, but then they go get a scratch off ticket that they just wasted $50, where they could have used that $50 and got some really good healthy food instead of buying all the junk food that they buy, So I am giving up on trying to impress other people. I'm giving up on that. I'm giving up on, I am giving up on um, people pleasing. I'm giving up on people pleasing, trying to please people, because I realize it's a waste of my time and energy, and then really, where does it get you when after you try to people please, to please more people? So I am giving up on people that give me poor advice. There's people that will try to control you and tell you what to do, but their advice is not good for you. It's not the advice that you needed. Let me see. I am giving up on following the crowd. I am giving up on following the crowd. I don't need to follow the crowd. Sorry, Starlight's actually getting a little chilly here. So I am giving up on following the crowd. I am giving up in following what society expects from me. I'm giving up on following what everybody else thinks I ought to do instead of what I want to do. So, and you could do whatever you want. You could follow the crowd, or you could follow yourself. Be a leader, not a follower. So I am giving up on following people, that are leading me in the wrong direction. I am giving up on people who want to control me and tell me what I should do. I'm giving up on listening to family or friends who don't have my back, who are not loving and supporting me. I am giving up on being afraid to be myself. I am here to be my real authentic self, and I am giving up on the old version of myself. I am giving up on the old ways of thinking, the old program that we've been all programmed to believe and think. I am giving up on comparing myself to other people. I love myself enough that I am only going to compare myself to who I was yesterday, not to compare to myself to the people in Hollywood or, people on social media. I am giving up on following other people's expectations, trying to fulfill their expectations of me. So anyway, I don't know what you're giving up. Maybe you can make a list of your own, and what are you giving up on? So think about the kind of things, or even the places that you don't want to go to anymore. What are you giving up on? Are you going to give up on relationships that are no longer serving you? Are you going to give up on people that are not there loving, supporting you? Are you giving up on eating the kind of food that you know is not good for you? Are you giving up on caring what people think? Especially if you're doing the best that you can. So you got to figure this out on your own. What are you giving up on? I want to see how many people is brave enough to leave a message down below. Is let me know, what are you giving up on? I know one person out there possibly would be brave enough. He's been brave enough this whole time to be there, loving and supporting Starlight, whether anybody else is or not. And Michael, I'm talking to you. I really appreciate you, because you came in the at a time in my life where Starlight was going, had to have a break. You were there at the time when Starlight just needed a rest. So I appreciate you being there and helping me out, like with my car, and being here this, throughout this time, supporting me. So those are the kind of people that you want in your life, are the ones that haven't given up on you when they find out, hey, you're not perfect. That's good. That's good. Is that I'm not here to claim that I am perfect. So I want to see who's brave enough to leave a message down below of what are you giving up? What are you tired of? Are you tired of people pleasing? Are you tired of caring what people think? Are you letting go of fear? I am giving up on being afraid, That's another one. So I love you so much. You could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Swing by and say, hi, Starlight, by leaving me a message down below. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends. A butterfly and a moth. Plus, you could check out my playlist and find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that's Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. You can do whatever you want, but those are things I'm giving up on. Not that I'm going to perfect them overnight. It takes time to, let go, but I am giving up on people pleasing. I'm giving up on caring what other people think. I'm giving up on people who think they know me when they don't. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.